Welcome back to our special preview of the BMW Hong Kong Derby on Sunday. Hopefully we can find you the winner, but if you want to do some of your own research, head to the website hkjc.com. There, click on horse racing and follow the stars. Full breakdown of the 14 runners. Of course, Rapper Dragon will be our favourite. All the stats and see if he can complete this clean sweep of the 4-year-old series. Of course, John Moore with 6 in the race could actually be looking at Quinella. He achieved this feat back in 2014. It was a classic matchup between Able Friend and Designs on Rome.
That was really some year, between the 500 and the 400, when Able Friend found galloping room, and of course the typical ride on Designs on Rome and kicked, and then they went to the line together. It was quite a spectacle.
Number 1, Able Friend, really classy individual, looked terrific, was beautifully behaved, he's got good size and strength about him. Designs on Rome has to go in, and I think he's going to be the one to beat. He looked good, he's a fit looking horse.
I was very confident. Obviously he was the favourite, and he beat Able Friend leading into that race in the Cup, and he just kept improving the whole way through, and I knew John was going to have him spot on for the race.
I was quite confident that he could make it. We rode him to hold the distance, to be able to run the distance, and he did actually. At that particular race he proves that he was one of the best horses in town.
1.9 Designs on Rome, Able Friend at 2.2. We're set now. The BMW 2014 Derby, they're off. Able Friend, 1 off the fence from Dr. Good Habit. 2 further back, 2 Designs on Rome, and Dibiani is last.
He's not one you can push around very much here. Pretty much just got to let him have his own way early and get him in a comfort zone and a nice rhythm, because he was one of them horses, established a pattern with him very early on that if you take off on him early, that's how he wins his races. So I was very adamant not to do much with him in the first half of the race.
Now Designs on Rome gets going at the 600 metres. Able Friend's been shuffled back to last.
Tommy Berry is a smart jockey. He knows that the way how he beat me on the Classic Cup, 1800 metres, if he's done the same thing, he was going to have a stronger finish, in particular the last 200 metres. So I had to find ways to change things around a little bit.
Able Friend will ride for luck into the straight.
I looked over my shoulder and saw Able Friend there, and we both come together, and it was a great finish to the race.
300 metres to go, there we were for a fight.
Designs on Rome coming down the outside, and Able Friend's got a split. This is what we've been waiting for. Able Friend's bursting up the rails. It's Designs on Rome and Able Friend fighting it out. Designs on Rome with his head in front. He's edging away, and Designs on Rome wins the Derby by a length to Able Friend second.
Oh, it was like winning the Melbourne Cup back home, you know. It was pretty special. It was great to do it for John. I'd had great success with him previous to that, with a good stint over here, and you know, it was a dream come true for sure.
Of course, Tommy Berry, part of John Moore's Ridiculous 6 this year, will be on board Eagle Way, but now concentrating on the other horses. And Mark, your completely unbiased view of Pakistan Star, please.
Great racehorse, isn't he? I think he is probably the biggest problem to Rapper Dragon. He's a horse who's almost guaranteed to get the trip. His pedigree says he'll get the trip. I think he's the first horse out of the family that's ever been able to win over it a mile or less. His devastating turn of foot is something that I think will come into play in this race. The fact that I think he'll produce that at the end of 2,000 metres means I think he'll be finishing the race off stronger than any other horse in the race. I think it'll take him very, very close, if not past Rapper Dragon.
All right, and Dave, he was an internet sensation on his first start. He sort of midway through the campaign went off the rails a little bit to a certain extent, but he does look back on track, and from barrier 13, the decision's made for them, really, isn't it, to go back, I suppose?
Yeah, and I spoke to Tony Cruz this morning after the barrier draw, and he was happy with 13. He said, where else can I go with this horse? He's going to go back. They tried to bustle him forward in the Classic Mile, and that really backfired badly. The horse found absolutely nothing when they came into the straight. They then switched him off in the Classic Cup, put him at the back and let him run home as he wanted. Sylvester de Sousa was actually about 12 horses wide on him coming into the turn. Got that clear run down the straight, and he clocked, I think it was 22.08 for the last 400. Absolutely flew home. So given that, as Mark said, the pedigree suggests he wants a trip, the way he was closing on Rapper Dragon, he's a massive danger. I'm singing from the same hymn sheet as Mark here, that he is the big danger to Rapper Dragon.
What about a horse like Gold Mount? Circuit Hassler, with no disrespect, probably going to be a bit of a long shot here, be a bit of pace angle, but Gold Mount late on the scene, and the trip no problem at all.
I think he's a genuine chance had he had a bit more time under his belt. I just think it's really tough for a second start coming into a derby. Good win first up, real good win. He's got solid Royal Ascot form. He will have no problem running the trip and further. I just have that slight question mark about second up. Often he wouldn't be the first one to have disappointed second up.
Yeah, it has been done before, one start into the derby, so it's not impossible, but it's a big ask.
Yeah, but you've got to go back to 1997 with Oriental Express. Before that, you go back to 1987 with Tifa2 the second, who Tony actually rode, Tony Cruz the trainer. So it can be done, but it's difficult. And what I would say is the field this year is probably better than the field that Oriental Express faced, and certainly the field that Tifa2 the second faced. But he is a classy animal, and Tony referred to him as a Mini Cooper with a Porsche engine, and he showed that in his first start at a mile, which was too short for him. He came on really nicely, and I wouldn't be too shocked if he won it. It would be a little bit of a surprise, but you couldn't be too shocked given the ability that he's shown that he has.
I just think those other two that you mentioned, was it a race as strong in depth as this derby? This one really does look like it's a strong race, and that's why I think it's a tough ask.
All right, well, let's hear from the man himself, Tony Cruz, with 3 runners in the race: Circuit Hassler, Gold Mounts, and of course, Pakistan Star.
Yes, I mean, he's bred to stay. I believe he's a long-distance horse, and I believe he's got a great chance. But even though he's got an alley number 13 today, but I'm not worried about it. He's always running out the back door, so he's going to come home with a big acceleration in the Derby day. Hopefully he has a good chance of winning. I believe he's got a good chance.
Talking about another one, Gold Mount. One for you on debut in Hong Kong in Class 2. How do you see him running like in the Derby this Sunday?
Well, he'll be probably running midfield, and he's got a chance to. And I've seen all of his videotapes in England. He's definitely 2,000 and above. So today's 2,000 meters will serve him perfectly. You know.
How has he come up from his last race?
Oh, very good. Yes, I'm very happy with him. He's improved too. So he's got a shot here.
I know you boys are giving a big chance to Pakistan Star. We'll get to the selections in due course. Still horses to talk about, though, with Gold Mount in the UK form, Limitless. That was an impressive win for him, wasn't it, a couple of starts back?
Britannia handicap form is always good form when it comes to Hong Kong anyway. It's a really hard race to win. 30 runners, you know that they've got to be solid racehorses. He's certainly going the right way, but I think Neil Callan's got the trouble of trying to get him to switch off over 2,000 metres. I think that's probably his biggest task.
Yeah, undoubtedly. He's a bit of a handful. Back in January, I'd written this horse off. I thought there's no way he can make the Derby. You saw in his first run when he finished 11th, it was actually a good run because he pulled like a steam train. It was difficult for Derek Lung rode him that day, difficult to get him settled. He obviously learnt from that and came on, won impressively the next time. And then his last start, Neil just didn't get quite the run that he wanted, but it was a very good run. But you've still got to think it's maybe coming a little bit too soon for him.
Yeah, all right. What about John Size, our leading trainer at the moment? Prawn Barber, part of Joe Moreira's magnificent 8.
You can never leave a John Size horse out of calculations because he is the master tactician and the master at getting them right on the right day.
Yeah.
I've got a bit of time for Prawn Barber and Dinozo. I think Dinozo will continue to improve. I'm not so strong about My Darling. I can't see a Mossman running out a strong 2,000 metres.
Yeah, Dinozo's worked his way through the grades though, but maybe just found out last time a little bit?
Maybe a little bit, yeah. He's a very likeable horse, just whether he's got the class for this race, there has to be a question mark there. Prawn Barbar is very honest, very straightforward, and from that gate, he's drawn 3. He could just get a nice sit. I think this horse, from the way I read him, is it's all about that rhythm, getting into that rhythm, and if he can get into a nice rhythm, he can just keep plugging on there and run a good race.
All right, okay, so it's decision time, and Mark, you're up first, and again, completely unbiased as being the man who brought Pakistan Star to these shores.
I'm always unbiased. I couldn't possibly be biased about anything, but I can't see anything else beating him.
Top 4, who wins the Derby? So it's him, Pakistan Star.
I've got to be loyal. I genuinely believe that Pakistan Star has a great winning chance in the race. I think Rapid Dragon is the hardest horse to beat. I've got a bit of time for Beauty Generation. I'm forgiving of one poor run. I like the way he barrier trialled afterwards, and Booming Delight, I think he's going in the right direction. So for me, 3, 1, 2 and 8.
Yeah, and David, there's some real life chances, but there's a lot of horses that could run into some minor money here.
Yeah, certainly, and I mean we've talked about them. Gold Mount it wouldn't surprise me if he gets amongst them. Booming Delight again, very good horse. You can't write off Limitless, and Prawn Barbar with his honesty could just be plugging in there. But I'm going to go with I'm going the same line as Mark really. It's a bit boring, but Pakistan Star is it'd be a bit of a fairy tale win, you know, especially for the Hong Kong International Sale, to have a Derby winner. He's just got that brilliance about him. He's exciting. He's the horse that you kind of root for if you're a neutral. So I'm going to go Pakistan Star on top to just edge out very narrowly Rapid Dragon. I think the 2,000 metres will just find him out. And then I'm going to go with Booming Delight and Gold Mount.
Right. Okay. Well, I've learnt my lesson. I've taken on Rapid Dragon the first 2 legs of the 4-year-old series, but I'm jumping on the train here from barrier 4. I think it's game over. So Rapid Dragon to beat Pakistan Star, flashing home down the outside. Not sure he'll quite get there, but hopefully get a grandstand finish. Eagle Way will be staying on as well from barrier 10. He'll get back and finish off. And I'm with you, Dave. I think Gold Mount could be the one, maybe, with that new form line coming through here to consider as well. Season's Bloom I've been with for the first 2 legs. Just dropped off him. Hopefully it won't cost me, but 1, 3, 4 and 6 officially my numbers there for the Derby. Now, if you want to tune in on Sunday, then we've got live coverage from 12:30, the BMW Hong Kong Derby, of course, on Sunday the 19th. We're trackside from 12:30, that's Hong Kong time. And the Derby itself will be streamed live from 4:35 local. That's on hkjc.com. And of course, you can tweet us all at HKJC_racing. But we're just about out of time, so thank you, gentlemen, for your company and your insights, and best of luck whichever way it falls on Sunday.
Been a pleasure. Let's hope we're popping the champagne corks later on.
Yeah, one way or another we will be, won't we?
Yeah. We will.
Well, that's the show. Thanks for watching. Hopefully we can count on your company again on the weekend for the Hong Kong Derby, sponsored by BMW, the ultimate driving machine, when we'll find out if Rapid Dragon is the ultimate racing machine.